You've made it to the interview. Now it's time to prove that you're the right fit. But here's the problem. Even the most qualified candidates stumble when it comes to building rapport, answering the tough questions, and showing that they're a perfect cultural fit. They focus so much time on saying the right thing that they come across as stiff, rehearsed, or worse yet, forgettable. Based on our work with thousands of senior level clients, I'm going to show you exactly how to master your job interview so that you can build instant connections, confidently tackle even the toughest questions, and make it crystal clear why you belong on the leadership team. In this video, you'll learn exactly how to stand out in your next interview. Beyond just answering questions, we'll cover how to build instant rapport so interviewers feel connected with you from the start. The best strategies for answering tough questions with confidence and authenticity. How to demonstrate cultural fit so they can picture you leading their team. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear strategy to make a lasting impression and move one step closer to landing that offer. Securing an executive role isn't just about being the most qualified candidate. It's about showing that you're the right fit for the organization. At this point in the process, interviewers have likely already determined that you have the skills and experience to succeed, or else you wouldn't be there. The interview isn't about rehashing your resume. It's about confirming that initial assessment and deciding if you're the right cultural fit. Here's what many candidates miss. Once the employer decides that you're the right person, the search is over. Think about the time and money that goes into finding top talent. Employers don't want to risk losing the perfect candidate and starting the process all over again. That's why interviews at this level aren't just about qualifications. They're about how well you connect, how you present yourself, and whether they can see you leading their team. And here's the critical point. It's not always the most qualified candidate who lands the job. It's oftentimes the person who interviews the best. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to master the interview process so you can quickly build rapport, demonstrate that you fill that talent gap, and that you're a great fit for the leadership team. Now, before we dive into the specific strategies, it's critical to understand what's really happening behind the scenes during your interview. At the senior level, there are two key questions that every interviewer is asking, whether consciously or subconsciously. One, do I like and trust you? And two, do I believe that your approach will solve the problem that we have? If the answer to both of these isn't a clear yes, you simply won't get the offer. That's why the secret to acing your interview isn't just about perfect answers. It's about hitting that sweet spot where rapport and trust meet your ability to fill the company's talent gap. Think of it like a Venn diagram. On one side, you've got building trust and rapport. On the other side, answering the question about, do I fill the talent gap? And it's at the intersection of those two, that's the sweet spot, and that's what the interviewers are looking for. Tony Robbins defines rapport as the ability to enter someone else's world, make them feel that you understand them, and have a strong common bond. Without rapport and trust, even the most qualified candidate will not get the offer. Here's how to build that connection from the moment the interview starts. Start with presence, not perfection. Interviewers are not looking for flawless answers. They're looking for someone they like and they trust. When the interview starts, greet them warmly, make eye contact, and focus on building that human connection. Mirror their energy and their communication style. People trust those who feel familiar to them. So subtly match their tone, their body language, and that will help create this unspoken sense of connection. You also want to show empathy and understanding. You can comment on the company's challenges in a way that shows that you get it, right? So here's an example. I noticed your team recently underwent a major restructuring. That kind of change can be tough on morale. How was the change? We also advise our clients to practice active listening, nodding, maintaining eye contact, and using small verbal cues like, that makes sense, or absolutely. Things like that show that you're fully engaged and present in the moment. If the interviewer doesn't feel that rapport and trust, they will not move forward, even if you are the most qualified candidate. So it's super important that you nail this point. Once you've built trust, the next step is proving that you're the solution that they've been searching for. Every executive role exists to solve a specific problem. That's the talent gap. Your job is to show them that your approach, skills, and leadership style are exactly what they need. This is where your career success proposition, or CSP, comes into play. Your CSP is the distinct combination of skills, experiences, and qualities that make you the ideal candidate for the role. It's the foundation of your personal brand and a concept that you'll return to throughout the interview process. So here's a quick example CSP. I'm a global hotel executive with deep experience in driving profitable revenue growth. My focus is transforming red zone locations into world-class destinations. But here's the key. Your CSP on its own is not enough. Why? Because it's all about you, your strengths, your value. But the interviewer, they're more focused on them, on closing that talent gap within their organization. Here's how. Diagnose the talent gap before and during the interview. Use the job description, company news, and early interview questions to uncover what are the core challenges. Look for clues like scaling operations, driving innovation, or leading a transformation. If you want more details about this, you can click on the link in the description on this video about how to identify the talent gap in the organization. From a CSP standpoint, once you understand the gap, you can tie your unique skills and experiences directly to it. You can frame your answers like this. I specialize in leading organizations through complex transformations, just like what you all are tackling now. Do you need help crafting your CSP? No problem. In the description below, we'll link to our guide on how to create your career success proposition. As you go through this, you want to tell stories using the challenge, action, result method. And this will walk them through how you've solved similar problems before. For example, in my last role, the company was struggling to scale due to outdated systems. I led a full digital transformation team, which increased efficiency by 40% and cut costs by $2 million annually. Sometimes the questions come out of left field. Maybe they're really quite tough. One of the best ways to stay flexible in the interview is using the theme-based cue card approach. Instead of memorizing answers to specific questions, create cue cards around major leadership themes. Themes like change management, strategic problem solving, and team leadership. On each one of those cue cards, jot down 2 or 3 examples on the back that align with your CSP and can be tailored to a variety of questions. This technique allows you to pivot on the fly and still deliver strong, relevant answers no matter what they throw at you. Later in the interview, they're going to ask if you have questions, and you should ask strategic ones. For example, what's been the biggest hurdle in solving this challenge so far when you're talking about a specific situation? By doing this, you're not just answering questions, you're positioning yourself as the missing piece that they need to close that talent gap. Now let's bring it all together. This is where the magic really happens, and that's at the overlap between rapport and trust building and demonstrating that you fill that talent gap. Blend the connection with the value that you bring in your CSP in every answer. Start with an empathetic statement to build rapport, and then pivot to your CSP to demonstrate value. Let me give you an example. I completely understand how frustrating it can be to lead a team through a difficult change. In my last role, I led a similar transformation effort, which increased efficiency by 35% and boosted team morale. Your CSP should be the common thread tying it all together, all of your answers. I'll give you another example. That's actually where my background in driving profitable growth comes in. I focus on turning struggling operations into high-performing teams. And this can help you handle tough questions as well. Even with the best prep, an interview can take an unexpected turn. The key is to have a flexible game plan that keeps you grounded while allowing you room for natural conversation. Here's how to stay in control. Use your CSP as your North Star. No matter where the conversation goes, keep reinforcing the specific value that you bring and how you're the solution to the leadership gap. Consider following the 3-minute rule. Keep your answers concise, 2 or 3 minutes max. Then pause. This keeps the conversation flowing and avoids rambling. If the interviewer wants to go deeper, go ahead and let them ask the next question. This way you avoid going too far down a topic path that they're not interested in. Be ready to pivot. If an unexpected question comes, use bridging phrases that put you in a better position to answer. So, for example, "That's a great question. Let me share an example of how I handled something very similar in my last organization." When asked about failures or weaknesses, focus on the lessons and how you learned those lessons and how they strengthened your CSP going forward. For example, one of my early challenges was leading without clear stakeholder alignment. It taught me the importance of transparent communication early in the process, something I now prioritize on every project. As the interview starts to wrap up, make sure that you restate your understanding of the company's needs and how you're positioned to help. And if they ask, "Do you have any final questions?" Of course, ask another thoughtful question that shows that you've done your homework and you understand the talent gap that they're trying to fill. Show them that you're already thinking like a leader on their team and how you could be successful there. Remember, this entire interview process, it's not about being the most qualified on paper. It's about building trust, connecting authentically, and showing them that your CSP bridges the talent gap for them. That's how you move from being just another candidate to the obvious choice for the leadership role. You now know how to build rapport, earn trust, and position yourself as the perfect solution to the organization's needs. But there's one more challenge: negotiating the job offer. Before you discuss compensation, you need to know 2 critical things: your true market value and your walkaway number. In the next video, I'll show you how to figure both out so you can negotiate with confidence and secure the executive offer that you deserve. Click here now to set yourself up for a winning negotiation.